Is life a perception based on perspective, or is perspective based on perceptions?
Have you completely lost it?
No, wait, it's just perceptions.
Isn't life just like a box of paints, full of colorful people, events, and
Arey no, it's just black and white, like binary.
Dude, for people like us and all, there are only two options in life. It's engineering or medicine.
Bro, come on. There's a whole lot more to life than just that. You're just looking at it from the wrong perspective.
That's completely anti-national. How can you say that? I mean, how can you not be patriotic?
I don't believe in such ideas, to be honest. The notion of a country itself is just this perception that has been planted in our minds.
Children, life is just like a balance sheet. You must balance things out to give rise to that final statement, just as a balance sheet declares a final statement.
Has she gone mad?
No, dude. Think about it.
Perspectives. Life through perspectives and perceptions.
Episode 1, Defining the Heart in Arting with Ananyaa Gupta.
Hello everyone, my name is Vir Gupta and welcome to the show. On today's episode, we discuss my guest's general opinions about people around her, some of her hobbies and what has led to the development of those hobbies specifically, how her lifestyle has changed after recently moving from Bangalore to Delhi, and how she's been banned from the kitchen after doing a bit too much of experimentation. My guest is also someone who describes herself as talkative and very social. However, today on the show we discover some things that go against those thoughts. Moreover, today's guest is someone who I really don't know that well, to be honest, and that's why I thought it'll be fairly interesting to have this person on the show. So without further ado, I'd like to bring on Ananyaa Gupta.
Hi, I'm Ananyaa Gupta.
One of the three Ananyaa Guptas I know.
Yeah.
So Ananyaa and I have spoken about her hobbies and how art is her favorite hobby. So Ananyaa, tell me a little bit about like art and just how you approach things.
Okay, well, I started arting when I was in ninth grade.
First of all, I love it how you call it arting. I've never heard that.
I think it's because, when you're doing something, you don't say, I'm doing art, you just say, I'm arting.
I mean, most of the kids in our school, they're like, I have art, man. No one says arting. That's really cool. I've never heard that before.
Yeah. No, but I started like arting when I was in ninth grade. And I didn't really see it coming. It just kind of like, I had no other option and I had to fix the subject. So that's what I picked. So it was difficult at first because there's so much of like freedom that you're given. There's so much of freedom of choice to do what you want. So it takes a while to get used to it and formulating what you want to do onto like paper or canvas or whatever. But after a while, you get used to it. It's really enjoyable.
So is this something you do as a hobby as well?
Yeah, now I did it as a subject for 2 years, but now I'm just pursuing it as a hobby.
Wow.
It was really time consuming and I knew it wasn't something I wanted to make into like a career. So I decided to pursue it as a hobby instead.
And what is it about art that like got you hooked onto it?
I think it was the freedom of choosing what you want. There were so many options and none of them were the same. That really intrigued me. I found it really interesting. I think that's what got me hooked.
And what are the different things you do, like photography or just painting?
In art? I'm more of a visual arts person. So, but within visual arts, I'm really interested in all like the fundamental arts, like the isms of art, as some people would say.
I have no idea what that is.
Oh, so you have like impressionism, realism, fauvism, suprematism, cubism.
It's none of the splashing on the canvas.
Oh, I have a lot of that too.
Oh,
that's abstract. I have that too.
Just whatever isn't turning out to be something that you just call it abstract.
Yeah, if you don't understand it, it's abstract.
Is it that you don't understand or the person who's looking at it doesn't understand it?
Abstract is more up for interpretation. I mean, if you have fauvism or something, there's still a landscape over there, so you have a basic idea of what it is. But when you come to abstract, there are no definitive, shapes or anything. People just think of it as whatever they want to. And I think that's pretty interesting.
And with art, like, how much have you learned over the past 2 years?
A lot. I've learned quite a bit because I mean, art in itself is such a huge subject. I don't think you can ever really learn all of it. But I mean, as a person also, you learn a lot about yourself. I feel like art just makes you more decisive because, as I said before, there are just so many options and so much you want to do. You have to come down to something. So through art, you just kind of figure out what you really want. And I think that's helped me in all the aspects of my life.
Decisive in what way? Like, give me an example.
If you compare it with art, like suppose you're drawing like or painting a lemon. So what color do you want for the background? And you have so many different colors to choose from. So you just end up taking whichever one that you really want to take. And I feel that kind of clarity is something you can only get through art. So if you ever have to make a decision as to what you want to do, whether it's a career or which subject you should take or which extracurricular activity you should choose, you just gotta become a lot more decisive.
And is that the best thing about art that you've learned?
I think for me personally, yeah, that's the best thing. I need a little more decisiveness in my life, and that's where art helped me.
Other than being decisive, it's given you something that you can do when you need to take your mind off something, or is it more than that?
I think it's a lot more than that for me. It's something that just gives me joy. So just painting there and just after you finish a painting, just knowing that you've created something that wasn't there before just excites me.
So the feeling of completion is what you want.
Yeah, you could say that.
Do you ever feel that you can't sleep or whatnot when something's incomplete?
Yes, and also I'm a perfectionist, so if something is complete but it's not right.
Right.
I also can't sleep at night.
So like this has to be done or else no.
To be perfect.
And does that also lead to you like planning extensively?
It depends on what. If it's, I mean, like the small things, you just learn not to sweat it. But if it's like an important decision, then yeah, I mean, like I do overthink a lot, prepare for the worst sort of mentality.
And over time, like, has art helped you with like negating those small things and just focusing on the bigger picture?
I mean, when you art, you
I still can't get over that.
I'm so used to using it as a verb.
No, say it, doesn't matter. I like it.
when you art, you screw up so much that it doesn't really matter once the painting is done because like the people don't realize it and sometimes you yourself just don't realize it. So I mean, it kind of shows you how the small things just don't really matter, so like, you shouldn't overthink it. So I feel like, yeah, it has helped me.
So in the end, it just comes down to the bigger picture.
Yeah, literally.
And is that what drew you to art?
So I got into art by chance, but I'm glad I got it. I really learned to love it after I started.
That's interesting. Do you ever feel like going into things by chance has helped you?
Yes.
Other occasions?
I think things in chance are the best kind of things because like you don't see them coming, but
things in chance are the best kind of things.
Yeah.
Ananyaa Gupta. Wow, that's nice.
Cool. You can start a quote thing.
At the bottom of your painting.
Words of wisdom by Ananyaa.
Definitely. What else about art makes you fond of it?
I don't know. I really like colors and colorful things. It's really basic, but just seeing so many colors makes me really happy. I think just opening my paint box, it's like, oh, I have so many colors.
And does that relate to the kind of friends you have around you?
Oh yeah, definitely. That's a really nice question. I think it does, yeah. Because like you have a variation of people around you. I feel like you learn more.
And I think by moving, you've seen a larger group of people that are like are diverse in their own way. Like even I feel the culture in Delhi and Bangalore is much more different.
It's insanely different.
Does that help you as a person?
The people around me, yeah, definitely. I feel like I've become a lot more accepting after I've moved to Delhi because there were just so many things. I mean, I feel like when you meet new people, you gain new perspectives.
Yeah, definitely.
Which is kind of what happened for me. So, like, when I was in Bangalore, it was all really academic oriented, and for me, that was it. That was my life. And then I came over here and I met my friends who were doing amazingly in their academics, but they had so much more to them, and they were doing so much more and just having fun. And I realized how wrong I was with my, thinking in Bangalore when I was like, academics is it. And then I came over here and I realized that there's so much work to do. and so much more to see.
So had that always been your perspective, like one-track mind of just studies?
No, I'm really passionate about my family and friends. I think connecting with people is the most important thing you can do. But academics definitely did play a really large role in my life. And I mean, as they should for any student, but it was more academics for grades and not academics for academics.
Oh,
Do
definitely.
you know what I mean?
Yeah.
So I feel like that's the kind of shift I had when I moved.
Why is building friends and friendships important to you?
As I said, I feel like I get to gain new perspectives, and I love learning, and I learn something new from all of my friends, and I think that's really important.
And each person brings a different perspective to your life?
Yeah, different perspective or opens me up to new options and possibilities. There's some friendships that I've made that I've learned a lot from because things just went so badly. And there are a lot of good, like those long-lasting friendships where you end up fighting a couple of times and you just learn how to deal with people through that. So I feel like I really learned through those too. But then you learn about the good things too and how to handle a lot of different stuff, how to juggle your social life with the rest of your life. And I feel like all this, I feel like that's why friends are so important.
So has that become like one of the main things in your life, friendships and relationships?
Well, for one, I love getting to know people and talking to them. And I just love talking in general. So I just love communicating with people. I feel like it's so impactful when you talk to someone and share that it's insane.
So your entire life revolves around getting to know people and just soaking in as much as you could. And how does that relate to other things? Is that the same when you're sitting with, even in class? Do you like to look around and see what's happening?
Yeah, definitely. I mean, okay, I think I have a really outstanding rapport with my teachers. I'm really close to my teachers.
Yes, same.
Yeah, I'm still in touch with like my 8th grade class teacher.
Yes.
And I love my teachers to that. I love them so much. Yeah, so like in class and even now, if I ever need help, I still turn to them and I'm like, what do I do? So I feel like building long-lasting relationships in class with your peers, of course, and your friends and your teachers is just as important. And like they help you in every like step of your life. Like there's never going to be a time where like whenever we need help with some social situation, we turn to the people around us.
Yeah.
So I feel like it's important to have a good set of people around you to learn from or get advice from.
No, I've always felt that you never know when you'll need someone. Somehow you might need them, but you'll need them, man. They're there.
Not just need. I mean, just getting to know someone can teach you so much about yourself.
Like what?
There might be something that someone else might point out and you'd be like, oh, I like that too.
Yeah, so does that also relate to you taking feedback to whatever you do?
Yeah.
How are you with feedback?
I think I'm pretty good with feedback as a person. As I said, I constantly just want to learn. So if anyone gives me feedback, I'm pretty into it. Like I'm interested. I listen to what everyone has to say most of the times. If it's constructive criticism and they tell me how to fix it, definitely. Or just tell me what to fix also, I'm pretty good with that. But if someone just comes up to me and be like, you're screwing that up, I'll be like, okay, cool, on your way now.
So like, tell me why, but like, what's the reason? You'll ask them that.
I feel like the people that I've surrounded myself with, I don't even need to ask. If I'm just screwing something up, they'll just be like, you got that wrong. And I'll be like, okay. And I'll figure out, like I'll try to work on what they told me I got wrong. But if someone who I'm not really close to, I don't really trust, comes up to me and just tells me that, you did that wrong. And I'll just be like, what did I do wrong? First tell me, then I'll fix it. You know what I mean?
Why is that?
I feel like you need to know which advice to take. If you start to take everyone's advice, you're going to get nowhere.
So when you're sitting in class, do you ignore certain things and do you just move on? Because you've said that you don't take some advice. Like
if it's advice from my teachers, yes, definitely. I feel like not as much in class because class is learning oriented space. Like that's what we're there to do. So any criticism over there is 99%, like 99% of the time constructive criticism. So in class I don't really ignore things, but outside class, yeah.
So you've reached a stage where all your friends are people you're close to and you trust and
no nonsense friends.
That's interesting. And why is that? Yeah. Like any past experience of nonsense and whatnot?
No, not past experiences as such. I don't want to waste my time if I'm not going to be friends with a person. in like the next 5 years, I don't really care.
That's interesting.
It's worked out for me pretty well so far, so I guess I'm doing something right.
Cool. How do you think that's come up with you? The idea of staying with what you know and what you have.
I don't know if it's just always kind of been there as a kid. Also, it's not like I'm not friends with everybody. I'm friends with absolutely everyone. But it's just people I'm close to are the people I'm close to. Like there's no changing that.
Okay. People around you in your family, have they told you just do what you know?
Yeah, God. I've been raised to have very strong opinions about things.
For instance?
It's like, for example, if something's wrong, I'm going to speak up. I'm not going to not speak up. So, and when it comes to things at the house, like I'm always included in decisions, whether we're moving, whether we're doing something, like my input is always valued. So I feel like that's been a huge factor as to like just to be decisive as a whole, just be like, if this is wrong, this is wrong. I want this.
Your no nonsense philosophy.
Yes, my no nonsense philosophy.
I like that. You've also told me that you love to express yourself. Can you elaborate a bit more on that?
Communication is one of my strongest suits. If I don't like something, I won't sugarcoat it, but I won't be mean about it either. I'll just let the person know. To a certain extent, telling someone that they're doing something wrong won't really work out if they don't trust you or trust your advice. So when it matters, I do speak up or express.
No, but that's a skill.
It definitely plays a huge role.
That's a huge skill to like not sugarcoat it, but still not be completely straight up. That's a skill I'm not seeing like in too many people. You being straight up and no nonsense it's a bit different, but it's nice. It's nice to see.
If someone asks me, I won't just go up to people and be like, I don't like what you're doing. I love what you're doing. If someone asks me for my opinion, I'll let them know.
Yeah, it's different.
Yeah.
Maybe it's because I've not seen a lot of it, but I find that interesting.
Oh.
So with that one-track mind of just having that close circle, have you ever felt the need to cut someone off?
I feel like sometimes when you have such a close like friend group, being with someone all day, every day can get a little taxing.
Yeah, definitely.
I feel like before it comes to the point where you think that they're toxic, you can just take a step back for maybe a day or two or a couple of days just to take a breather, time to yourself.
Yeah.
And then get back to the friendship. Or if you guys are close enough, just talk to them about it.
Yeah, and that sort of understanding must be with you guys because you guys are as close.
Yeah.
So do you ever extend out of that circle, or are you just very, very restricted in that?
Oh no, I'm very social. I talk to absolutely everyone. Remember like a party or something? I speak to my closest friends less than I speak to everyone else. Because like we're together all the time. So when we're not, like when we have time to socialize, we try to socialize with people that are not each other.
And how does that sit with your friends? Do you think their opinion matters a lot at that stage?
Yeah, definitely.
In what sense?
I know that my friends have my best interests in mind. So if they think I'm doing something wrong or I'm not going about the right way with something,
they will approach you.
Yeah, and they'll let me know. And I really care about that.
Okay, so the fact that you always have someone backing you and watching out for you is something that's really important.
It is. It's really important to me. But I feel like I'm also like really loyal to my friends. I mean, I know I always have their backs, so it's just appreciated when they have mine.
And how does that relate to you exploring new things?
Yeah, I wanted to try something new and I do it. Like, for example, last month, I really felt like meeting my friends in Bangalore, and it's been such a long time. So that very night I decided to go to Bangalore, and the next morning I was there. So I feel like it's always just what I want to do when I want to do it.
What pushed you to do it? Like, what is the final thing that said, I need to go?
I just really missed everyone, and I've been talking to everyone. They were like, oh my god, I want to meet you. So I was like, okay, cool. So I met them.
Wow, and that must have been such a big surprise for everyone.
Yeah, they had no idea. They were really shocked.
And in the end, it just brought down to what you really wanted. And that's really nice. But are you getting into a position where you're just like, maybe I'm not right and what my philosophies, my core ideas are not correct?
Yeah, quite a few times.
Like what?
A lot of times when you just talk to people, and especially when their philosophies don't match yours by like a long shot. Like, you know, when sometimes you talk to your grandparents or someone who just has like a really different mindset from you and who come from a totally different place and a totally different time, then I definitely find my philosophies being challenged because what they have to say makes so much of sense. and because of so much more experience as a whole. But like my grandparents don't at all. They're like the opposite of my philosophy. They want to try everything, get advice from absolutely everyone. And so many times that proves to be like the right decision compared to what I was going to do. So at those times, I definitely do find my philosophy being questioned. Like, am I really doing the right thing sort of a thing? But I don't know. I guess at the end of it, I always come back to the same thing. So it works out.
Does that lead to you second guessing yourself often or just...
No, I second guess myself quite a lot. If you don't second guess yourself, how do you know if you're taking the right decision or not?
That's nice. When you talk about these people and the opposing ideas, is it just specific people where you're just like, maybe I'm actually wrong? Or is it that you look at the entire picture and you're like, wait, maybe there is something to it?
Yeah, I mean, there are a lot of times when I'm wrong, and I feel like that's just a part of growing and learning. Yeah. So I don't take it too personally because I know I'm gonna make mistakes, and I kind of like my philosophy, so I think I'm gonna stick with it.
How do you feel about being wrong?
It depends what I'm wrong about, but usually I just learn from it. I'm just grateful to just learn that I did something wrong, so I won't do it next time.
And this entire idea of just learning as you go and being grateful, where do you think that's come up from?
I think it's come from my mom. She's pretty much the same. Basically, we're the same person.
Nice. So like going back to where we started, apart from art, you said that you enjoy reading.
I love reading.
Why reading?
I don't know, it's interesting. And you learn so much from reading.
So just the core idea of learning.
I think learning is the core idea of absolutely everything in my life.
It's just like if I can learn something from it, then I'm doing it or else no. Is it that?
Yeah. But there's nothing you do that you don't learn from, so that works out for me.
Wow. Well done. So let's try everything.
Yeah.
Nice. So what do you think you've learned the most from reading?
I think a lot of what we were talking about, all that nonsense stuff that we were talking about, I think a lot of it just came from reading.
Does that come from certain characters or just...
No, just in general. I mean, as you read, just kind of shows there's a bigger world out there compared to yourself. Like the world doesn't revolve around you sort of a thing. I feel like once you start to read, that kind of enforces itself within you. And those things just stop seeming important. So you just automatically become no nonsense.
So like each of the worlds that are created in each of the books, do you ever place yourself in those situations? Or do you place yourself in the character's shoes? What is it like?
Actually, I don't think I've ever done that. I don't think I've actually ever done that with a book.
Then how do you see a book?
More for enjoyment purposes, entertaining, learning. I'm learning from the character. If I put myself in the character, I won't be learning anything.
So whatever books and storylines that relate to you as a person, are those stories that you really enjoy?
No, I aside from reading like general fiction and stuff, I really enjoy fantasy and young adult novels. So no.
Why? What's the reason?
I don't know. I liked my reasoning to be challenged with. And like something that, I don't know, it's interesting. Something that doesn't seem possible and then makes you think about it.
So anything that makes you think and makes you wonder, like there's more to it.
Yeah, something that just kind of has a total mind blown effect.
Okay. So again, we go back to the idea of exploration.
Yeah. Yeah.
Cool. So since you have such clear ideas and philosophies, I think it'll be interesting if you could just run me through your normal day.
Okay. I guess I wake up pretty early, 4:30-ish.
Wow.
I go to bed really early. I'm someone who needs 8 hours of sleep no matter what. And I don't usually get that if I try to stay up late finishing my homework. So I go to bed first and then I finish my homework.
So what time do you sleep?
So I sleep by around 9 usually.
That's insane. I don't know any 11th grader who sleeps at 9. I mean, there's one person in my class, but like...
I'm a 12th grader.
Right, okay, 12th grader. Now, there you go. I'm like, okay, maybe I'm wrong. Maybe there's different things going on in Delhi.
Yeah, no, that I can assure you, it's just me.
Let's move on. Then, after 4:30.
Then, I usually get ready, go to school. School is fun.
Of course.
I come back from school. I watch a lot of TV. I really enjoy my television time or reading time, anything. And then, kind of go to bed and I eat throughout the day.
Okay, so let's talk about two things: eating and television. So television, like Is it the same thing with books that intrigues you? The storylines, the
No,
character?
television is more just
Pleasure.
entertainment, just mindless entertainment. If you just need something in the background while you're doing something,
Yeah.
sort of a thing. Yeah.
So
But I really enjoy it.
So do you think you still learn from it? Do you still watch
Oh
it?
yeah, definitely.
Yeah?
Definitely learn.
Like what shows?
I think 50% of my vocabulary comes from television.
What shows do you watch?
Depends on my mood. I usually watch, the most that I watch is probably comedy. Like Brooklyn Nine-Nine or The Middle. I really love Friends, Modern Family, Schitt's Creek, all that stuff. But I really enjoy those. I also enjoy other like dramas and stuff. I definitely had that Vampire Diaries. I had I really love crime shows and I love Suits too.
You're the entire spectrum.
Yeah. No.
So TV is just for pleasure, nothing more than that.
No, I mean, like, I definitely learned from it. I'm not, again, I think you kind of learn from everything. But TV is, more pleasure, more of like
subconscious learning.
Not even subconscious. When I'm too tired to paint and my eyes are too tired to read, I just kind of watch TV.
So I like that. My eyes are too tired to read, so I watch TV. Cool. And food, is it like your fuel?
No, not really. I mean, I'm definitely a foodie, but I have a really small appetite. So
that doesn't work. Ananya, that doesn't work.
It does work. I enjoy eating new types of food and exploring food in general. I just can't eat as much.
So you'll have one bowl of Maggi and be like, I'm done.
Oh God, yeah. How many do you eat?
I don't eat that much too. Do you cook?
No, I cannot. I don't think I'm properly allowed in the kitchen. I'm a mess.
And what do you do? What do you mean you're not allowed in the kitchen?
This one time I was baking with my cousin and we kind of sort of left a pot of oil, like a just full of oil in the oven and we set it on preheat and it started to steam. And the second time I burnt chocolate.
Okay, that's not so bad. Okay, like burning chocolate.
Yeah, it's not so bad, but still, we just try to avoid anything to do with the kitchen and me in the same sentence.
Okay. So final thing, what's the biggest thing you've learned from people around you?
The biggest thing I've learned is probably to just be accepting. Because, I mean, you meet so many different people and that's the only thing you're left with at the end of the day. That no one's going to be exactly the way you want them to be. And I think that's kind of cool.
Looking at these different people and shows and characters that you have all around you, have you learned to become more and more accepting?
Yeah, definitely. Definitely I've become more accepting.
So, going back to this, the idea of having different people around you, but still having that small circle of friends that you truly trust is what you've built your life around. And that's what it comes to with hobbies and interests.
Yes.
You like to branch out, but those core ideas and core things that you love to do are always some things that make you happy.
Yeah, it's the same thing with books. I have, I think, a set of 7-8 books that no matter which book I read, I'll come back to those 7-8 books at the end of the day.
Same with people.
Yeah, same with everything.
Alright. On that note, we come to the end of this episode. It's been a really fun and interesting episode to say the least because we barely know each other and...
Yeah, thanks for having me.
Yeah, thank you Ananya for joining me on this. And until the next episode, goodbye.